Okay. Whew. Hello. Oh man, it has been over a week. It's been a while. So, yeah, the logs didn't really work out totally. I attempted, but every day, for context, I just came back from over a week in Italy with two of my friends, and it was jam-packed full of activities and hiking and adventuring and amazing food and all of that stuff. So wonderful, but also means no time at night, and also I was using my phone storage, and phone storage is on life support at this point. It's like, if I want to take a longer video, I have to delete other videos. I'm seriously going to need to clear out some of that stuff in a bit. But let's get straight into it because we have a week to catch up on. Now, I'm not going to go here and like explain my entire vacation because, like, long story short, it was great. Now just saw the sights, did all the stuff, ate all the food, and drew. We did draw. It was lovely. I brought, oh, it's right here. I brought this sketchbook. Yeah, for the plane ride, and I was going to try and sketch for, like, you know, the plein air stuff, kind of like what I was doing in my study abroad when I was doing, you know, I guess it's plein air, urban sketching, that's what I should call it. And this is a lot to carry around a city, especially when you will be climbing towers and hiking up mountains and stuff. So this did not really leave my Airbnb or bigger suitcase. But, I mean, no, I did like one drawing of the first Airbnb in Florence. Oh, check this out. This was on the plane ride home. Beautiful spread for like a 9-hour flight. And yeah, let's see, do we have a plane spread for the one before? I think we do. Kind of. This was the car ride there. Probably can't really see much of it, but it's a lot. Oh yeah, okay, so I didn't draw that much on the plane ride there because it was like a super red-eye flight. It was, yeah, very much early hours in the morning, and probably the only sleep we were going to get for the next like 48 hours, so I tried really hard to sleep. Didn't go that well, got like maybe 2 hours straight consistently, kept waking up. But at the airport, no, at the train station in Rome, I drew this cafe corner. I don't know if you could see. You know, maybe I should just pull up the camera. Perhaps. Can you see? There. Yeah. There it is. This one. The camera's mirrored, so it's really hard to figure this out. But that one. That's what we saw there. And this little spot, it's really hard to maneuver this. That is the view of the Airbnb in Florence, which had the most amazing view. Oh my goodness. And I'm here. My studio day is tomorrow. I have my oil paints waiting for me in the studio, and I'm going, well, ideally, if my perfectionism and or procrastination doesn't get in the way, and I won't let it, I'm gonna go to town. I'm gonna paint as much as I can in like an impressionist style, so I don't get too into the fine details, but we're talking watercolor, oil, maybe acrylic if I have time, but like, I'm so inspired. Everything was beautiful, and I want to paint it all now while it's all still fresh, you know? And alright, I can take my camera away now, because I don't want to look at myself talk out of the corner of my eye. It's weird, it messes me up. Artist way wise though, because that's what these vlogs are about. That is the main focus of all of this. There was a transition actually. We split weeks in this. I think about, yeah, actually I think it coordinated with the halfway point in the trip, because we spent like 4 days-ish in Florence, and then the rest in Rome. Personally, Rome was cool, right? Very interesting, but I have a massive bias against Florence because I lived there for 3 weeks in the summer, and it's like the home of the Renaissance, and there's so much more art, and it's all like, you know, close and walkable, and people seem more friendly, and it's like so homey. I love it. I love it. Dude, the feeling when I got out of the train station, right? Out of Santa Maria Novella station, and I immediately recognized where I was. The streets were familiar. I remembered the way to walk back to my old apartment it was surreal, honestly. To just go there with my friends who had never been there before, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I know where I am. And it was great. I didn't use Google Maps the entire time. Yeah, I found my way. And oh man, we went to all of my old favorite places. Went to this one cafe where I drew the place in June. It's still hanging up there. And it was great. And there was one person that I wanted to meet again. 2 people, but one specifically that I wanted to meet again. But she was working at a different location at the cafe, so I missed her, and I was really sad about that. Oh well, I guess I have to go back, I don't know. But, yes, long story short, I love Florence. Rome was also great, but I love Florence. So, yes, the point of this. The end of week 7 was Florence. Week 7 was recovering a sense of connection, I think. And that, honestly, I think I could probably have used a little more time on. I had it extended a day as well because the travel day I didn't do anything. And this was actually, yeah, I didn't do a task. This is the first time I missed a task. What I didn't miss though was the morning pages. That's right. I mean, most of the time it was not in the morning because we were getting up at like 6:30 every morning to get to this museum or that train. But yeah, I wrote. Sometimes it was just a page. But I wrote in that journal. I brought it with me and I wrote morning pages every day. I did it. Ironically, I think the one day I was closest to slipping up was the day I got back. Because I was like, oh no, it's like I wanted to release, I wanted to just go to bed. It was like past midnight, last night actually, this morning. Yeah, last night, close enough. And I was like, oh, what if I just go to bed? But nope, I stuck to it, I did it. And yes, connection. That was cool, because it was connecting less with people, as I had feared, and it was more connecting with the universe, you know? Benevolent universe, creative spirit stuff, you know, like when you're drawing, you're not coming up with things, you're getting things down. From your head, from your inspirations, from all that stuff. And that is lovely. And there was a whole paragraph about perfectionism that I would really like to reread, honestly. I might go back to that because I think that's my biggest enemy right now. I mean, I'm pretty good at getting past it sometimes. I mean, you always get in slumps. You're never perfect. But I think working with the Impressionist style, ideally, hopefully, and watercolor. And timers. Time limits may give you a lot less time to freak out over the little details because you just have to go. You kind of like rush, you outrun the perfectionism a little bit, but yeah. That was that. And the tasks, of course, this was the one week where the reason why I had skipped some of the tasks was you had to make a collage about yourself, right? And it was like, it recommended a physical collage. And I had no downtime for arts and crafts because I was too busy looking at arts and crafts in museums. But I skirted around it by thinking, oh, all of the pictures that I take throughout the day, it's kind of a collage of my day, right? And, you know, I have a tendency to just take pictures of whatever I like, whether it's like, you know, the picturesque view or a pigeon on the sidewalk or some really nice, like, mossy steps kind of stuff. So I kind of brush it off by saying, yeah, that's my collage, you know? Currently it's still just a bunch of pictures. I have to, like, stitch them all together. I was gonna put them together on the way home, like the plane ride home, but my iPad was dead, and I didn't think about that enough. Yeah. I did, however, put together two, not one, but two music videos about the trip that I'm a little tempted to post on YouTube or Instagram or something, because, I mean, I do them with every vacation, but I usually don't post them because they have, you know, my face and my family on there, but these are my friends, and maybe they'll be okay with it. It's not like we're there and people can, like, find us. Like, we're not there anymore. So, I don't know. We'll see, but personally, I'm very proud of it. I think it's nice. I love putting together music videos for our vacations because not only is it all of the images, but it's also a song that you pick. So now you're kind of bookmarking the entire trip into a song. You're kind of taking all those memories and sticking it into that song. It's like a little, you know, yeah, bookmarks, best thing I can think of. And yeah, it works like a charm. I have very specific songs, and whenever I hear them, it's like, that trip. All of those memories are just packaged into that song. You just gotta be careful what song you pick, because you will think of that trip for that song forever. So just make sure it's not something too overplayed, because then it can get, like, overused and it doesn't fit with the song as much, and it's like, it loses the oomph, you know. So that was the collage. The other things from week 7, the other tasks from week 7 were all about inner child stuff, coddling, you know, getting yourself nice things, making yourself feel nice. And that was, honestly, it was hard to remember because, you know, it was the trip. It was, I mean, every day was packed with tons of stuff and it was great. So it was hard to remember that I was still doing the artist's way and I had to keep certain things in mind throughout the day. And yeah, but it was very necessary because my two friends are together. They're a couple. So I was more or less third wheeling the entire trip. It was tough sometimes, but for the most part, I mean, the three of us were very close friends, so it's really not too much of a problem. But, you know, sometimes I really felt it. I was like, ugh. And that is when I was like, oh, artist's way. What would little me want right now? And then I had a little time with myself. And I think I used that to its fullest potential. There was a mantra that was like task 1, I think, that you had to keep in mind. I didn't actually use it or put it to heart until like halfway through the week. Because, well, first off, because I couldn't remember it fully, because I did not believe it at all. It went directly against one of my core beliefs. Ready? It's my phone wallpaper now. The mantra was, treating myself like a precious object will make me strong. Now that completely confused me when I first read it. I was like, what? But, no pain, no gain. You know? Grit and all that stuff, you know, suffer and become strong. What doesn't kill you make you stronger, stuff like that. Like, you don't get strong or tough by coddling yourself. However, that's not true. Apparently, treating yourself actually makes you more resilient and happier and, you know, healthier mentally and emotionally and physically, because then you, like, work out more often and love and stuff. So that is a big paradigm shift that I'm keeping that thing on my phone screen for a while. Because that, every time I read it, I felt like my brain did a somersault. It's a big shift, and it's helped a lot already, I think. Suddenly I'm like more willing to go out and get groceries for myself, and more willing to go to bed earlier, and I'm nicer to myself. I'm hyping myself up a little bit. It's great. And yeah, it's just, that is that. I kind of wish I spent Well, no, I wish that week took place in a less busy week. But you know, the fact that I made time during my international trip to keep up with that stuff, I think is appropriate for the week. Now, to wrap things up, because I'm sure I'm already talking a lot, you know, let's check time. Oh, 15 minutes. That's not too bad. You know what? I'm yapping a lot. You want to know why I'm talking so fast? I got coffee. And it's delicious, but it's too late for me to have coffee. I haven't had enough food. And my digestive system is I'm gonna feel the wrath later. But yeah, it's 7:50 p.m. But you know what? I'm leaving my phone timer, clock, whatever it's called, in 24-hour time because I kind of like it. I like the fact that it goes from 0 to 24. It makes a lot more sense. A lot of the American things don't really make sense. Don't even get me started about imperial versus metric systems. But, how funny. I can hear them watching the music video in the other room. Alright, I'm gonna try and not get distracted. I'm getting distracted. Ugh. You know, I'm one of those people where I cannot keep my thoughts straight if there's music playing or like stuff like that. Brain immediately focuses on that. It's hilarious and tough. But whatever. The music stopped, so now we're thinking straight again. Well, I wouldn't say thinking straight. Straighter. But yes, coffee. I got coffee. Kind of irrelevant. What was I talking about? Okay, well, I don't remember what it was, but let's move on. Second half of the trip, beginning of week 8. Oh, okay. Last thing about week 7, another one of the tasks was get something nice for yourself. And boy, did I do that. Oh my gosh, I spent €90 on 3 things at an H&M. I've been talking about how I want a style upgrade for myself, right? I'm feeling the personality changes, so I want my wardrobe to reflect that because I want to feel comfortable in my own skin and in my style. And for the first time in forever, I feel like I want to be a little stylish, but in the cool, sophisticated artist academia way, you know? Or I'd be sitting outside in a library, not outside, sitting by a window with a laptop and some coffee and some books, and I'd be writing a story, or I almost kicked my water bottle over, or aesthetic, stuff like that. So I wanted to lean into that, and I got some really nice clothes that I am very excited to wear, and I'll be wearing them tomorrow, and I'm going to feel so fun and happy and excited, and it's gonna be great. Yes, so that was that. And in week 8 is recovering a sense of strength. That is interesting. At first, again, I didn't think I needed it. I was like, I'm strong. I'm blunt. I say what I say. I don't, turns out. I'll get more into this later, but I mean, it's already day 4, I think, of week 8. So I haven't done any of the tasks yet because there was some autofill stuff you had to do in the reading passage section that doesn't count as a task. Although I think there's only 8 tasks instead of 10 for this section. Well, either way, the strength thing was a lot of it was about overcoming past criticisms and, old wounds, old childhood things that are stopping you from taking action. Taking action is the whole week 8 thing. So, I think I'm pretty good at taking action. I'm very active in my life. If I see an opportunity, I jump at it, kind of thing. However, there are a few projects, it happens to me. If I have a long project, I usually get halfway through on a burst of energy, and then I stop. It's really hard for me to finish a long project. part of that was scheduling, I think, but another part is like some block, I think. I don't know if it's expectations or perfectionism or whatever, but I don't know. I'm interested to see where this week goes. A lot of the autofill things I had to do for the writing passage, which I did today. It was all about, oh, my dad thought artists were like this, or when I'm daydreaming, my mom snapped me out of it by saying this, or like, this teacher did this, like, you know, inner child wound stuff, I guess, which was interesting. And I have once again realized that I'm pretty sure most of my problems don't lie in how I see my art, it lies in how I see myself. Understandably, because, oh man, I have gone through a lot. I have, and now I'm finally recognizing that. And we're working through it, but whew! Get me sick. Cool. I'm just realizing this pause button thing here. It's very nice. I gotta, like, use that more often. See, ready? Ooh, I moved. Crazy. I didn't do that in editing. That was a pause and play button. Ah, okay. I gotta finish this. But more or less, strength, sense of strength. Maybe I'll start taking some actions towards goals that, you know, I haven't, or something. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm taking a lot of action. I think I'm taking too much action right now, but I don't know, maybe I'll move in a different direction and we'll try new things. I don't know, but I think that's all I have to say now. I think in terms of dreams, if I do start moving towards something, I might try and like bake things more because I'm super inspired by Italy, of course. Might try some more baking and cooking things. I made soup before I left. That was a pretty big achievement. But I need like groceries for that, so I might plan things tomorrow, like plan what food to buy. Crazy. Oh, yes, okay. This is the thing I'm gonna say before I stop. I have one thing. Like I said, most of the problems don't lie in my art right now, I don't think. I think it lies in my life outside of art. You know, the other reflection of me. And I think by solving the life things, I'll take massive steps in my art things as well. It's all connected, so I'm very excited to see what might happen if I move through with this. But I am still a bit of a people pleaser. Not not as bad as it used to be, but there are things that I like to say in my life. There are some blunt things, some rather harsh truths that I would like to bring to light, you know? Just come right out and say it. Cut the crap. But it's tough to bring myself to do it because, you know, there's always risks and stuff, and I don't want to make other people unhappy on my behalf. You know, still working through the importance thing. But it needs to be done. And I've always wanted to have that voice, you know, the ability to just say it, you know, stand up for myself kind of thing. And I've always kind of stood up for myself, but in like the passive way, where like I'll ice people out if they don't make the cut. If I realize, okay, you make me unhappy, I'll just leave, you know? I won't put up with people, but I also don't really fight for myself, but like, is that worth the effort, you know? What if I just leave? Like, I'm not sure what constitutes, what problem is big enough for me to make a scene of it, you know? But I've definitely been walked over once or twice, that, yeah, I don't want to be that person that gets walked over. I am strong on the inside. I am. But I'm also scared. So I'd like to be less scared. I'd like to say things that need to be said. And who knows? Maybe it'll make everything so much easier. Maybe I'll have more confidence. Maybe I'll see myself as more important by sticking up for myself. We shall see. Yeah. Not gonna force anything. Not gonna go out and start insulting people left and right, because insulting is different than standing up for yourself. I'm not gonna be mean. Yeah. So we'll just see. The rest of this week we'll do the tasks and see if I have any change of heart or strength of heart or whatever. So that's that. Caught you up, and we'll see whenever I edit this because I am behind on so much work already. Because it's been a week. It's spring break, but professors don't really believe in spring break. So I have a lot to catch up on. That's alright. We'll do it. We'll work it out. See ya.